Patrick Mahomes versus Stephen A. Smith. A feud ignites. The tension between Patrick Mahomes and Stephen A. Smith finally erupted in a fiery Instagram Live confrontation, a clash that had been simmering for years. After the Chiefs' crushing 40-22 Super Bowl 59 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, Smith took to ESPN's First Take with a scathing critique, declaring, "Patrick Mahomes may be the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, but this is the first time I've seen him embarrass himself." Those words, coupled with Smith's claim that Mahomes' GOAT status was over for the foreseeable future, pushed the usually composed quarterback to his limit. Mahomes fired back, and what he said might just silence Smith's relentless criticism for good. Let's dive into how this feud escalated, what it means for both men, and why it's shaking up the sports world. The roots of the rivalry. This saga began long before Mahomes and Smith became the faces of one of sports media's most gripping battles. When Mahomes entered the NFL in 2017 as a first-round pick, his potential was undeniable, but Smith wasn't sold. In a now infamous clip, he scoffed, "Everyone's talking about Mahomes like he's the second coming of Dan Marino. Can he play a couple of games first?" That early doubt set the tone for a complicated relationship. Smith, ESPN's outspoken provocateur, built his brand on bold takes, often challenging even the biggest stars. Mahomes, meanwhile, let his play do the talking, exploding in 2018 with an MVP season, 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns, that forced Smith to rethink his stance. But Smith didn't fully back down. Instead, he shifted his narrative, sparking the first major flashpoint in 2021. On First Take, he argued Mahomes' success leaned heavily on Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, saying, "Give Deshaun Watson those weapons, and he could match Mahomes." The claim drew fierce backlash, with Hall of Famer Kurt Warner calling it disrespectful on Twitter. For Mahomes, who rarely engages in media spats, the comment stung, though he stayed silent, letting his on-field brilliance, 2 Super Bowl titles and counting, answer the critics. The breaking point. Super Bowl 59 fallout. The tension simmered until December 2023, when a controversial moment fanned the flames. After a Chiefs loss to the Bills, a nullified touchdown due to a Kadarius Toney offside call sent Mahomes into a rare outburst. Slamming his helmet and blasting the refs as terrible, he showed a raw side fans seldom see. Smith seized the moment, slamming Mahomes on First Take for embarrassing behavior unfit for an MVP. This wasn't just about football, it felt personal, questioning Mahomes' character and leadership. Fans and analysts began to wonder, was Smith critiquing fairly or chasing headlines? Fast forward to Super Bowl 59. The Chiefs' blowout loss was a low point, with Mahomes struggling, 2 interceptions, including a pick-six, and a dismal 1.1 QBR in the first half. Smith didn't hold back, declaring the GOAT debate done, and comparing Mahomes unfavorably to Tom Brady and Joe Montana. "Brady lost 3 Super Bowls by 15 points combined," Smith said. "Mahomes outscored by 40 points in 2 losses. And Joe Montana, 4-0, 11 touchdowns, 0 turnovers." The theatrical takedown felt like a deliberate attempt to tear down Mahomes' legacy, ignoring the context of an injury-riddled offense and a shaky offensive line. Mahomes strikes back. Mahomes had stayed quiet through years of Smith's barbs, but the Super Bowl fallout was the final straw. In a reported Instagram Live session, Mahomes didn't just defend his game, he called out Smith's pattern of flip-flopping and personal attacks. Sources say he accused Smith of hypocrisy, pointing to how Smith hyped a potential three-peat as GOAT-worthy only to bury him after one loss. Mahomes reportedly challenged Smith's focus on character over context, noting the Chiefs' 33 dropped passes and offensive line struggles in 2024. "You don't talk about the team," he allegedly said. "You make it about me, and that's not the whole story." This wasn't Mahomes losing his cool, it was a calculated stand. He highlighted Smith's history of feuds with stars like LeBron James and Kevin Durant, questioning whether his critiques were analysis or attention grabs. The confrontation resonated, with teammates and coaches backing Mahomes for defending his legacy. Robert Griffin III echoed the sentiment, tweeting that the mudslinging after one bad game was bonkers. The exchange sparked a broader debate. When does media criticism cross into unfair territory? A reckoning for sports media. Smith's approach, provocative, theatrical, and often personal, has made him a $100 million ESPN star, but it's also drawn scrutiny. His Super Bowl critique glossed over team-wide failures, framing Mahomes as the sole culprit. This pattern, seen in his past clashes with athletes, raised questions about his motives. Was he analyzing or exploiting Mahomes' vulnerability for clicks? The backlash grew as fans and former players like Griffin called out the double standard, praising Mahomes one day, burying him the next. For Mahomes, the confrontation was a rare glimpse into his frustration. Known for his professionalism, he took accountability post-Super Bowl, saying, "I let y'all down." Those turnovers gave them 14 points. Yet Smith's relentless focus on his failure felt like a vendetta. The quarterback's stand wasn't just about defending himself, it was a call for fairer discourse. He reportedly asked Smith if he considered the human toll of his words, not just on players but on their families and teams. What's next? The fallout from this clash is reshaping how we view athlete media dynamics. Mahomes' measured but firm response has earned him support, with many seeing it as a stand against sensationalism. For Smith, the confrontation exposes the risks of his style. Pushing too far can alienate fans and players alike. ESPN now faces pressure to address whether Smith's approach aligns with responsible commentary. What do you think? Did Mahomes overreact, or was he right to call out Smith? Drop your take, yes or no, and share who you side with. Should Mahomes keep speaking out against unfair criticism? If you're fired up about this Chiefs drama, subscribe and turn on notifications to join our push for 5,000 subscribers. Let's keep dissecting every moment of this saga together.